The Atlanta Falcons have just made it official. They've signed tight end Charlie Woerner to a 3-year, $12 million deal that comes out to $4 million a year. And a lot of people in Atlanta are wondering why this happened, why they signed this individual. And there's a couple reasons why I'm seeing they signed Charlie Woerner. Number one, you can see the Atlanta framework is kind of moving to individuals from Atlanta. They talk about embodying the culture of Atlanta. And Charlie Woerner kind of fits that bill. He played his college time at UGA, so he's very familiar with not only Atlanta, but Georgia. He knows how to get around on the highway. Same with Kirk Cousins. You kind of hear that now. And I kind of feel like Atlanta's trying to build a culture and relate and get guys that have been in Atlanta and really understand why Atlanta is so great. And so that's why I think they went out and got Charlie Woerner. Not only his familiarity with Atlanta, but he just knows the culture of Atlanta, and I think that's a great fit there. Two, I think Charlie Woerner knows, and this is the biggest reason why I think they went out and grabbed him, he knows the offense. He played for the 49ers. He knows the Sean McVay type system, that West Coast offense, that get up, pass, and then run effectively. And he was a phenomenal blocking tight end playing for Kyle Shanahan. So he really knows that West Coast Sean McVay tree style offense. And I think they're bringing him in not only for him to hit the ground running, but also for him to help teach some of these other individuals. The Atlanta Falcons have young talent on the roster, and a lot of them have not ran that quintessential West Coast offense. And I think bringing in a guy who's familiar with it, who knows the lingo, as you can see him with Kirk Cousins, you can kind of see a pattern of people they're bringing in, individuals who know Atlanta, but also know that West Coast Sean McVay type offense. I think that's why they brought him, because he's a phenomenal fit, and he will fit very well alongside Kyle Pitts, but also with Kirk Cousins. Third reason, he's a phenomenal blocker. I know people don't really talk about blocking tight ends that much, but he's a phenomenal blocker. He was very relied on in that Shanahan kind of offense last year. I think a lot of people in the San Francisco 49ers hate to see him go, because he was a guy that didn't get a lot of highlights, didn't get a lot of, showtime, but he was a pivotal point in their blocking scheme. I will tell you this, Christian McCaffrey will hate to see him go, and that's okay. But for them to pick up an additional blocker, I know they won't be running sets where they have two tight ends on the field a lot, but to get a guy who can block on top of Kyle Pitts, who's not known for his blocking paralysis, this is a good fit as well. Also, another fit is he's kind of cheap. I think 3-year, $12 million is pretty favorable for the Atlanta Falcons. $4 million a year. I think the tight ends, I think they had, Jonnu Smith was making upwards of 8. I could be wrong, but for them to save a little money on the back end in the tight end room, I'm not sure what they're going to do with, I think his name's Pruitt, that's there now, but I foresee them kind of signing another 3-year, $12 million deal and kind of letting Pruitt go, but that's okay. For you to get a tight end that's cheaper than what you had, who can kind of fit your system a little better, I think that's why they went this option. And it's honestly not going to be a headline in the papers. It's not going to be a headline on ESPN, but I think this is a low-key, underrated pickup for the Atlanta Falcons. Not only do they get someone to fit the system, they get someone fairly cheap, so they kind of save that cap space, but they also get someone who embodies Atlanta, who went to UGA, who knows how to get around Atlanta. He understands the lingo. He understands the culture of Atlanta. So all of those three reasons is why I think this is a pretty good pickup. I think, like I said, it's underrated, but I think it will help in the long scheme, and it'll just help form that culture and that team bonding and that offensive guru paralysis, whatever you want to call it, within Atlanta. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. And if you want to see more videos about the Atlanta Falcons, especially what I think about Kirk Cousins and his introductory press conference, check this video out right here. And like always, peace.